Hello and welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today is my weekly WIP Chat, and if you're not familiar with what a WIP Chat is, that is a work in progress. I'm going to be working on this diamond painting, so grab something that you would like to work on or treat this as a podcast and let's get started. I am so excited to be getting back to this one with you guys. This is my big diamond painting. It is almost 8 feet. I think it's around 7.5 or so, but you know, who's counting? And I am on fall. I am almost finished with fall. Today we're going to work on this little dragling, and then after that I will be in between fall and winter, and then I have this part left. So I do have it rolled up, and this little green part that's sticking out, that is a clip that I like to keep the finished clipped over to the side. Otherwise, this would not fit on my table. I am using an Add More Zest tray today. I love their trays. I'm using a pen I've been using forever from Monarch Designs. And I am going to start working on the yellow part right through here, and hopefully I don't have to fill my drills. I still have some drills that would not fit in these small bottles, and so I have this pouch here, and it says Enabler's Outpost on the bottom here, so that way I know those are all my extra drills. I don't really have that many left in here, but I still have quite a bit to go, so hopefully I will not run out of drills. I have not heard of anybody that has, but I hadn't really seen this finished either, other than Emma Casey, who is the artist, and I just love her work. When I finish this one, I do have one other one in my stash, and I am going to have to order some more of hers. I have not ordered from Enabler's Outpost in a while, so I want to go and see what they have. But I am on not a no buy, I am on a low buy. I am buying a couple of diamond paintings. I did buy a couple from a company yesterday that should be in pretty soon, and that was from Distracted by Diamonds. I bought two. They had them on sale. I have not bought from Distracted by Diamonds in a couple of years at least. So I was just going online to see. I'm still looking for a couple of smaller paintings that are not minis, because I have plenty of minis right now that aren't minis, but that they will help me get through some of the larger paintings that I plan on working on this year. And I'm going to cover this part because my hand is sticking to this bottom. I keep hitting it, and that makes me move the canvas. I'm not using my light pad. I don't really have to with this one, as long as I am by a window, which I am, but it is very nasty looking out today. We are in for some severe weather tonight, probably after we go to bed, which is not something that I'm looking forward to, and some really bad weather tomorrow. I have just put some putty in my single placer instead of a glue dot, and it keeps popping out. And I am using today Randa's Crafty Corner, and this is Fall Farmhouse. I thought that was appropriate since I am working on a fall section here. This fall one, guys, has taken me forever. I feel like I have been on this for months. The other part of this painting went very, very quickly, but this one did not. And I'm just going to be glad when I'm finished with fall. Fall had the best colors so far. Out of all of the seasons on this, fall was by far my favorite. But it has taken some time. And if you happen to be looking, I know a lot of you like to diamond paint with me, but if you're looking, I have two different color yellows on here, and I know I do. I have mixed these two the symbols are almost identical. One has an X in the middle of it and the other one doesn't, but it's a diamond shape, and it looks like almost dragon scales in the middle, but I have a hard time telling these apart, and I was just working away, and then when I put them up, and then I'm like, oh no, I have mixed these two yellows. I am not going back through here and taking all these yellows out because it's a lot. And so I am just using them when these yellows are usually together, so I know which one is which, and it just makes it easier. I'm just doing both of them. It would save time than me have to go through and say, okay, I need to go through and take an hour or two separating these. It will just drive me crazy. It will frustrate me. And so I just said, forget it. I will just do all of these together. And if I haven't separated them out by the time that I go to kit these down, I will just put these in my container where I keep a lot of my trash drills or just drills that I have an overabundance of, and then I will use those for cards or give them away for cards because I just don't want to spend the time. I just don't really have the time. I'm not in the mood to do this, to go through, and there's not that many that's left in here. That's all it is. We are about to get some really nasty weather. I may have to get off here for a while. We've also ordered lunch, which I usually don't do, but I thought if I have to eat another ham sandwich, I am just going to scream. I just do not want any more ham. I just can't deal with it. So I asked my daughter if she wanted to order something. Of course, she said yes. And I had her order us lunch, which I still ended up getting a sub sandwich. So I'm like, what was that? Was kind of stupid because if I'm going to eat a sandwich, I might as well just eat a sandwich at home. But I did order a half sandwich and a half soup. And I don't like to order because it is such a waste of money, but it's looking so nasty out. I just don't feel like getting out. And they actually had free delivery today. So I thought, you know what? That's a win-win. Let's just order lunch. So that's kind of a treat for us because I don't usually do that. I need to buy something else for lunch every day instead of just relying on sandwiches. My husband eats a ham sandwich every single day, Monday through Friday, and sometimes on Saturdays, and it doesn't bother him at all. So I thought, well, I'll do the same thing. No. I tried. I failed. And it's only Tuesday. So, but I did eat a lot of ham sandwiches last week, and I thought, this isn't so bad. No, it is. I would rather have a salad or something else or just nothing at all as opposed to having so many sandwiches. Anyway, I digress. I don't know how I got on that, but let me know how you guys are doing. I always like to ask very early because I'm afraid if I don't, then I'll wait until it's too late, and then some of you may have already have decided that you've had enough and or you're busy, you don't want to dominate anymore, and you may not be listening. So I always want to make sure that I do ask you guys how everything is going. How's life? What are you working on? I really like to know what everybody's working on. I wish that YouTube had a way that you could actually put a photo underneath your comments, but I can also see why YouTube wouldn't do that because some lurkers might get some kind of a inkling to post something that was naughty, and I don't want to see that. I don't know if others want to see it, but I know I don't. I don't want my daughter to see it. So I get that. So that's why I do have a Facebook group that you are more than welcome to join. We would love to have you. And I am not the greatest of going in and posting and commenting on everybody's posts. There's so many in there that I can't keep up, to be honest. But everybody does a really good job where they are keeping up for me. I may need to get help in there. I haven't really asked for it, but I may see if there's anyone that's interested in helping me be a moderator in there, especially as we're getting so many new people, and I love that, but I don't want you to think that I am not interested in you guys. I definitely am. It's just I have so much going on, and some of that has lightened up, and I'll go over that later. But it might be a little bit easier now because of that, but we'll see. I also am gearing up for our Josephine Wall event that Kim and I are hosting next month in April, which is hard to believe it's almost here. And so getting ready for that, I'll be really busy. But I really do try to keep up with social media. I haven't kept up with social media for Instagram. I don't know if that one, if I really need to try to keep up with Instagram or just not worry about it. So do you guys really follow Instagram a lot? I was posting updates and things, and I quit doing that. Guess I've gotten lazy. I don't know what my problem is. Okay, I'm going to do some of these reds. These are these. These colors are so bright, and I need some cheering up today. Big time. If you guys have not heard the news, Art and Soul, who I absolutely love, I did some admin work for them, some behind the scenes things. I don't know a lot of information, so don't ask me, please. I don't know anything other than what you guys know. But don't believe everything that you read, because, there's always different sides of the story. There's always the correct, what really happened, and then there's other viewpoints. So I don't want to get into a lot of things. I just want to say that I love Melissa and Scott, the owners, and they may come back. It's not quite over yet. I don't know. I'm hoping that it's not, that they're not closed for good, because they had some really good ideas, cooking, some things going on. I feel bad for the artists that all of a sudden have lost their income. I do feel really bad for that. If they come back, I would hope that they would change manufacturers, and I am sure that they are done with their manufacturer that they're using. That is my opinion only. What I'm telling you guys is my opinion. It's not anything else. It's just me. But please do not, underneath the comments, please do not bash Art and Soul, because I was really, really upset yesterday. I did not do my video. I planned on doing it on Monday so I could get it out earlier on Tuesday like I used to do. But things just started escalating during the day, and it became very clear that what was going to happen. And so I found out very, very early this morning that they did put a notice out there that they're closing. They did state that they had some issues with their manufacturer, and that's been going on for a while. And so I was honestly devastated. I just was not up to doing a video yesterday. I am almost done with Garden Girl. I was even debating, should I finish this? Should I not? and it's a really pretty painting, and I'm going to finish it. I am going to do a post review on my channel. I'm also going to keep the drills. The drills are really good. I do have a lot of Art and Soul canvases because, guys, they were good to me. I did help them some, but they were very good to me by giving me canvases that I wanted. I could pick out my own canvases. I have some that they had asked me if I would unbox and do on the channel. And of course, I gladly said yes. I don't know why I just did this one because I don't even have this many on this color. I'm trying to just stay in this one little section. That way I know that you can see if you want to. And if I need to move it over, I can. Those are very pretty drills, but I don't need those. I need a lower or an uppercase E. And this is 100 colors, so it takes me a little bit. I do have them in an order, or let's say I did. And then my daughter was wanting to be helpful. I had several over on my table when I was working on this, and she was being helpful, and she put them up for me back into my containers, my organizer holder, which is Art Dot, and now they're not in the order that I had them in, so I'm having to kind of look for them. And yeah, I could take time to go ahead and do that, but I wanted to go ahead and get started with this video just in case that we did get some bad weather and I'm not able to be able to get this out. I don't want to miss my weekly WIP Chats because I enjoy talking to you guys, finding out what's going on, letting you guys know what's going on, if anything. But the only thing really is Art and Soul, and I'm going to work on my memories Care Bear, making memories Care Bear from Reagan Kubicek. I am going to work on that one after I finish my Garden Girl. That should be done by the end of this weekend, and then I will start on that one. It's around, it should go faster. Garden Girl is taking me a hot minute because it is square. Their squares are really good, and for the most part, I did not do any multi-placing on Garden Girl. I wanted that one to look especially good. I wanted all my drills to be lined up. I want to see if there's much of a difference between single and double on how my drills look at the end. I have a feeling that the drills are going to look a lot better by me single placing, but wow, it takes way too long to just single place, and I really want to just be able to diamond paint, enjoy it, get it done. This one, I have to have it finished by the end of the day when we go to bed on May the 1st. I want to get this done in April just so I can tell my husband I finished it, and I finished it earlier than what you said I would do. He actually told me later than May. I should have stuck with him, but I said, no, I can finish it. Not by the end of May. I can finish it by the 1st. It was not the end of May. It was by his, I guess it was the end of May. And I said, oh no, I can finish by the end, by your birthday. And he's like, okay, it's on. I was just teasing. And next thing I know, I have this one coming, and we have a bet going. His birthday's May the 1st. So this will be done before his birthday, and I'm going to say, here's your birthday present. Take me out to dinner, because you told me that you would take me out to dinner to a really nice upscale restaurant, which he does not do unless it's a very special occasion. And even then he gripes, but he enjoys it. So we will be going to a really nice restaurant on his birthday because I am going to finish this. If I have to stay up for days to get this done, it'll be done. What happened last week? Not a whole lot, really. We are closing on our house next Friday, a week from this Friday. We were offered yesterday, on Monday, to close early. The owners of the house, which are investors, said that they would be more than happy to close early because our loan has been approved now for 2 weeks. We were just waiting on the appraisal to come in. The appraisal came in last week, and it came in for exactly how much we're paying for that. Well, it came in for exactly how much that they had the house up for sale. So I thought that was a little ironic, but because it came in at the price that over the price that we are paying, basically, we were happy with that. If it came in lower, that would be a problem. Well, I guess it really wouldn't have, because we're putting quite a bit down on the house because of our sale from our last house. But I don't know if that would matter if it came in lower than what they said the price was, because since we're paying so much down, it wouldn't have mattered. But if we weren't paying that much down, the loan in the U.S. has to be lower than what the same or lower than the appraisal, or the bank wants you, the buyer, to pay it down. And we didn't have to worry about that. But if it came in lower, they would ask us, what do you want to do? Are you okay with that? Do you want them to reduce the price and you still pay what you're paying, kind of thing? But we had no problems with it. The appraiser said there was absolutely nothing wrong with the house. It was in excellent condition. Everything was up to par. Everything is pretty much new in the house anyway, so we weren't really worried. And he said this house is move-in ready, and so he went ahead and approved it. And so our lender said everything's good to go on our end, so we're just waiting on closing. And so our agent called us yesterday evening and asked if we would like to close early. That the owner said that was fine if we wanted to. And so my husband told her, my husband didn't even ask me because he knew I would say the same thing as him. He said, we've got everything planned for next Friday. We're both taking off work for a few days, and we are going to move boxes and things over the weekend. And so we really don't want to move early, because if we do, then we'd want to still do it on a Friday. We can't do it this Friday because we have to wire the money, and we're just not sure. Our bank may, because of the amount, our bank may hold the funds for a couple of days. Their bank could possibly hold the funds for a couple of days. So we didn't want to worry about that. My husband's like, no, there's no point in it. And so she said she understood. We already have the utilities and everything that's going to go in our name the Friday that we're closing. There's hair on here. The Friday that we're closing. So because of that too, it's like my husband said, I don't have to go back and tell these people that we're going to change it. They need to change our date for the utilities. And so we just opted not to. That we will just move in. We'll start moving the weekend that we close, and then we're not going to move our furniture until the first part of April. And that works out too. That's what we had planned on, was just waiting until the first week of April, and we're going to have our movers. So that's all done too. I am going to pause for a few minutes because my lunch is here and it is supposed to be eaten hot, but I've ordered, so I do not want it to get cold. But I will be back shortly. Okay, I am back. I was gone a little bit longer than what I had expected, but you guys wouldn't have known that. So I have moved this just a little bit and kind of honed in on the section where I'm going to be working on. I think I'll just stick with oranges and yellows and the rest of our WIP Chat. But what else did I do that was of importance last week? Really nothing. I did go to the dentist. I am the world's worst. I hate going to the dentist. I've had more than one traumatic experience at a dental office, and I have just been putting it off and putting it off, and I thought, I just cannot let myself go like this. It is time to go and to get a cleaning. And also I have a tooth that I have been really babying since I was at least 12, and it has been okay until recently. And then I woke up one morning and it's like, oh no, that tooth was gone. So I wanted to see how much that a bridge was going to be, or whatever that I needed, because I have really good teeth, for the most part. But so I don't want to go without a tooth, and you can't really see it unless I smile. So I've got my daughter's wedding coming up, and I'm like, this looks awful. So when I went yesterday, I asked, and I was floored when they told me how much that it was. But it's like, okay, I guess I'm going to have to pay it whether I want to or not. I'm going to go and get another recommendation because it just seems really high. But of course, I don't know how much that bridges or implants or anything like that cost. I have no idea. They said that a bridge is a lot cheaper than an implant, especially for just one tooth, and it can be done a lot faster, and it's not really painful, so they say. So I am definitely going to go to a couple of places. I do have an appointment tomorrow. I decided to get a deep clean. I get one every few years. I don't know, I've always done that because I have terrible buildup if I'm not careful. And then with me having osteoporosis, the medication I take makes it even worse. So I decided that I asked him if I could get a deep clean, and my insurance is paying the majority of it, which I was really surprised. But with an implant, it won't pay for anything because the insurance deems it as cosmetic, which I guess it would be. So the insurance won't pay for anything. But it's like, I just had no idea. So I need to get that done. I want to get done for my daughter's wedding. I mean, it doesn't look bad, except, of course, to me. When I look at it, it's like, oh no, I can't handle this. But that's just, me knowing that it should be there and it's not. So that is going to be tomorrow. I will get that done. Just the one, they do one side in 1 week and then one side the next week, because for some reason insurance doesn't want to pay if you have it all done at one time, and that's fine by me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll have that done tomorrow. And I know I'm going to be nervous because every time I go to the dentist, just calling, I was really nervous. My anxiety just shot up just calling the dentist just to make an appointment. So I know that whenever I have to go tomorrow, I'm going to be really, really nervous. I'm sure I could call my doctor and get something, but I don't like taking medication unless I just absolutely have to. So I think I'll be okay, but I guess I'm just a baby. I just absolutely hate going to the dentist. But I guess on the good side is I did the panoramic x-ray and everything looked good there. They did a lot of x-rays, and they said that they didn't see anything else, any other problems. They said they may see it after my deep clean, but they said that they could, see everything clearly now, and they said they didn't see any problems. So I guess I should be grateful for that, and I am. But the amount that they want for one tooth is just like, wow. It's in the thousands. Like, how can it be that much for one tooth? Just one tooth. So I don't know if that is an accurate price. I have no idea. So I guess I'll just have to go somewhere else and get them just to give me an estimate after I get my cleaning done and see how much that's going to be. I just knew I'd need a root canal or something. And he said, nope, everything looks good. And my husband's like, well, what'd you go out there to press for if everything looks good? I'm like, I want to get that tooth done, and I don't want to pay that much money. And of course he said, well, I wouldn't pay that. I'm like, no, you wouldn't, but it's not your mouth, it's mine. And, you know, he's a guy. He doesn't, and he's a manly man. That's what he says. He says he's a manly man. He doesn't need those kind of things. I'm like, well, you may not, but I do. And it's important to me. I want to get it done. So we'll see how all that pans out. But and everything costs more, but I've never even priced this because I don't know how much it is. I've never needed one. I should have known better that it wasn't going to be just in the hundreds. Of course not. So that was yesterday, Monday. And then my daughter's been calling and talking to me a lot about the wedding. She's getting really excited. She's also getting really nervous. Like, I don't know why. Because she wasn't nervous until now. But I mean, I can see it. There's going to be a lot of people there watching her. And she's nervous that something's going to happen. It's not going to go right. It's going to be a problem. But I think that it's going to be fine. Everything is already done. We are waiting on her dress to be altered, but that's not going to be done until starting next month. And the seamstress says everything is fine. She's got my daughter penciled in, so all is good. And Madison is working on her clinicals so she can finish, graduate, and move on from nursing school. She did have different clinicals last week, and she's been interested in pediatrics. She's always been interested in pediatrics, and so she said that's what she was kind of looking at. But they also had she went to an OBGYN for 2 days. One day she just saw patients, and then the next day she was with the pregnant patients. And she's decided that she doesn't think that working for an OBGYN is the way that she wants to go, because she was undecided and she loved working with the kids. So I think that's where she is going to land. And it was so funny because she was telling me that she's never had a baby that's, held her hand. And there was a 4-month-old baby she had to give shots to, and that was holding on to her fingers and playing with her and everything. And she said she just had the best experience. And she said, then I had to give the poor little girl a shot, and she didn't like me anymore. And I said, well, I guess not. And I said, I bet it didn't last very long. And Maddie said, no, she just cried for a split second, and then she wanted to me to play with her again. I said, well, she probably didn't remember it after. And Madison's teacher or instructor, whatever, that the lady that's with her, told her at the end that she did a really good job, and the kids really liked her, and so that made Madison feel really good. So I think that she's going to be looking for a job in pediatrics when she finishes. My flight has changed again, going to South Dakota for Madison's graduation. And my ex-husband and I, or I should say he, decided that, and it makes sense. I totally get it now that he said that. At first I thought, well, that's kind of morbid. But he said that he didn't want us, meaning me and him, to be on the same flight. And that was because he was worried if something were to happen to the flight, then the kids could lose both of us. And I thought, well, that is the most morbid thing. That sounds like something you would say. But then I started thinking about it, and I thought, I hate to say it, but the man has a point. I hate to say that he's right, but he does have a point. That makes sense with things that have been going on and stuff lately with airlines. But we intentionally worked it out. He is going the day before me, and because he wanted to go nonstop and it was going to be late at night. And I do not like to take late night flights. I don't like to get there late night. I don't want to be on a plane at night. I never have liked it. So I told him I would take the morning flight, and the morning flight was nonstop. It's an early one, but it was nonstop. They have moved me off of that flight. So now I've got a little bit later of a flight that morning, and it's still nonstop. So that's definitely a plus. I'll get there a little bit later than what I had planned, but it's still late afternoon. Coming back was the issue. And they changed his flight. They changed my flight. My flight going back to South Dakota is 2.5, from South Dakota to Atlanta, is 2.5 hours later than the original flight. So I'm like, well, that's okay. I can spend more time with Maddie and her fiance, or and get something to eat or whatever before we leave. And then they changed his flight. His flight is now leaving 5 minutes before my flight. So I'm like, okay, well, at least we're still on different flights. We're going to be at the airport together. That's okay. But we are on different flights. Well, then my flight from where we are having to stop for 2 hours, that flight is in Minnesota. That one, we're on the same flight together. And at first we were sitting next to each other. I'm like, oh, no. So I changed my seat at least. So I was able to do that. They still had some seats remaining. And, we didn't want to do that, but just because of him thinking morbid thoughts. And I'm like, well, that's the only other flight. I'm not changing my flight because the next one would be really late. It's bad enough I'm coming in. I won't get home till around 7 in Atlanta. And then I'll have to get my car. I park off-site. I don't park at the airport. I have to get my car, and then I have an hour and a half drive home. And so I don't like that. I can't get on any other flights because they changed them all. This is the third time they've done this whenever I'm flying, which is one reason why I don't like to fly, just for the fact that you are at their mercy. So that's going to be quite interesting. I mean, we get along okay for the most part until he annoys me, and then I just can't help it. But I'm going to be good. I'm not even going to be around. We're not staying at the same hotel. So that's something too. I'm not sure where he's staying, but I am staying in a different city. And I guess that wouldn't matter either. And because Madison's having to cart us, her and her fiance, back and forth, I'm trying to do what's easier for them. And she told me, she's like, I don't care. And she knows how we are. So I'm like, it'll be fine. It's all going to be good. I'll be able to see Madison. I haven't seen her since last year, so I am looking forward to that. And then her dad and her fiance can spend some time together doing whatever. And then Madison and I can do whatever. So it's all going to be good. But be thinking about me in May that, that I do have patience, which I really don't. But he brings things up and I don't want to even think about it anymore. So anyway, it's going to be quite interesting. And the same thing with the wedding. I think one person from his family, only one's going to be there. And that's somebody who I would never care if I ever saw again. But she may or may not be there. And if she is, so what? I am not in that situation any longer. Have not been in about 18 years. So it cannot bother me anymore. That's how I am looking at it anyway. So that's something else I have to look forward to. And I am really looking forward to seeing her graduate. I'm so proud of her that she is finally getting to do something that she wants to do. She's found something that she loves. And that she's getting married, and they are very, very happy. So all is good on that front. Paige is doing really well. She is going to have to miss work next week because of us going to closing. And I hate that for her, that she has to change her work schedule. And she can change it to Tuesday or some other day that I don't have to be in the office if she wants to. And she's mainly working just get out of the house. She's not making that much money, but she makes enough to where she can, buy her some books or buy her a game or whatever she wants to do. Go out to eat if we're not. Still working on Social Security. Finally heard back from them. It has been well over a year since we have started this. And they're saying on their website and on the call-in, whenever you call the 800 number, it says it's taking now, because of different issues, over 270 hours to complete for any Social Security. And I'm like, oh no, tell the people the truth. It's not that. It's well over a year and a half. You might as well tell them, because there's no issues with her because she hasn't worked before. They're not using me. They're using just her. She has nothing. And it's still not approved yet. It's just all the paperwork and all of the mess that you have to go through with Social Security. I've done everything that they wanted. I've now got another message, and you can't call them back. I've got another message, and it says to complete this form that they send me. Well, they didn't send me the form. I've been on hold for 3 different times, total of 4.5 hours on hold, and still can't get what I need. So now I have to submit something I've already submitted twice. So I've done that today. Then they want me to fill out this other paperwork in case she does get it, so it will be on file. Well, if it's after 30 days, I'll have to fill it out again because it's only good for 30 days on the form. So I'm like, why can't I just wait until they say if they're going to accept her and then fill this form out? But no, they don't want that. They can't keep up with the paperwork, and you have to fax everything. You can't scan it in. You have to fax all the paperwork that they need. Well, okay, back in the day, that was fine because we had a copier that had a fax machine. We had a phone, a house phone. I could use that to fax. We don't have a fax machine. We don't have a house phone. I mean, how many people have a house phone now? I haven't had a house phone in years. My husband and I have never had a house phone together. So, and we've been married 14 years. So I don't even know when last time I had a house phone. But you have to fax everything, and faxing it at the UPS store or some other place that has public faxing, which I don't like doing because it has information on it, it is like $2 a page. The last time that I had to fax before this one, I spent $180 on just faxing, and it took, well, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. So I thought, well, that takes care of their phone bill probably for at least a month or two, just my one little fax. And if I have to do this every month, I'm going to have to figure something else out. I hope that once you get in their system, that you're able to scan it in and then send it directly to them and not go through all of this, because this is a lot. It ends up adding up to be quite a bit. I've now spent close to $400 just on things that had to be done. And then if they decline you, then you've lost all that money. And they could decline her. And if they do, then I will figure something else out, because I'm not going through this again. I'll have to figure out what the next step is. But hopefully they will. There shouldn't be a reason for them not to, because there's no way she can work. What she's doing now is just to get her out of the house. And I do appreciate that. I'm very, very thankful that we found somebody. And they say that she helps them stay caught up. So hopefully that is correct, and what she's doing is helpful. And she loves it. So I'm not going to say, well, you can't work anymore because this is going to be too much trouble when you do get Social Security. So that's been going on with that mess. And then both our animals are doing really well Abby is just the cuddliest cat ever. She is a cat that does not like to be alone. She is not a very independent cat like Salem was. She was so independent, and not our Abby girl. She wants to be next to somebody, hugging up to somebody. She's always hugging up to me when we're watching TV. I wanted to diamond paint. She got up in my lap and just started snuggling. I thought, I just can't diamond paint. Then I feel guilty because, she wants my attention and she may not do this forever. And she will be a year in May, and who knows, she may decide that she doesn't like cuddling anymore and she doesn't like people. Kind of how Salem got when she was about 4 months. So I need to embrace the kitty cat cuddles and just enjoy it. So I didn't get to diamond paint much, but that's quite all right. I have her in there with Paige today. Paige has both of them, Molly and Abby. And Abby and Molly started playing this week, and it was so cute. They were like fist bumping each other. Abby didn't have her claws out. She wasn't hissing, so that was a plus. Wore Molly out because she hasn't played in so long. Our poor dog does not like any kind of dog toys. She doesn't like balls, nothing. She likes bones, but I'm really hesitant to give her bones. I've heard so many bad things that they can get choked and different stuff, and you have to be really careful with a collie anyway on certain things that you give them. So I don't know. So if you've had a problem with your animals playing with balls or playing with toys or whatever, and then you're able to find something that worked, she needs something because she's getting bored. When she gets bored, she starts to get ornery, and then she starts to get in trouble because she likes to get into things and make messes. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know, because I think that would also help with her barking. She gets bored and she just starts barking. I'm hoping that they will start playing, but I don't want them to roughhouse or anything like that for either one of them. I think once we get moved, I'm going to take Molly to doggy daycare once a week. But the problem with that is the one that we really like is not close to us. So I have to take her to another one that is okay. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not the one that I would prefer. And they're really funny about dog weights, that you have to be a certain weight to be in with the small dogs or the larger dogs. And she does not like big dogs. She's a big dog. She likes the puppies. So I don't know if they would even let her go with the puppies. And that's what she does at our other place. That's close to our old house. So we'll have to see on that one. I'm not exactly sure, but she really does need something. I told my husband, she needs a playmate, and he said, no, you and Paige can be her playmate. He doesn't want any more dogs. And I really don't, not right now. We have too much going on. We hadn't been settled in well over a year, so it's just time that we just get everything settled, get our house the way we want it, and just enjoy it, and then get ready for anything else that comes up. It's always something. As far as diamond painting, I kind of thrown that in there earlier. I'm kind of all over, and I did have some notes, but I'm kind of all over today, and my brain is just scattered. I'm just still really, really upset over Art and Soul. But anyway, and there's something, it looks like there's something on I need to get my tweezers on that. That's driving me crazy. I'll do that after. I'm not sure what that is. But as far as diamond painting, I mentioned I'm almost finished with Garden Girl. She has turned out beautiful. I have not run out of any drills. I don't think that I will. I still have quite a few drills left. I did unbox and kit up my next one, which is Making Memories Bear. That one I want to put over my bookcase where I have all of my old scrapbooks that I did for the kids when they were little. And so I'm hoping that I can get that done. I hope that it does not take me a really long time to get that one. I am, of course, still working on this one. This is going to be my primary one during the day if I have time. If I have a meeting and I can just listen, I can work on this when I'm not on campus. And also, I'm going to work on this on the weekends, but since we're moving in a week, I am not exactly packed very well yet. I still have a lot to go on packing. So that's going to be the main focus for this weekend. But if I can get a little bit of diamond painting time in, I want to work on this one. I still have two more rows, which is 4 sections to go on White Christmas. I may end up just putting that one up until July and then pull that one back out and do that for Christmas in July. That might be something that I'll do. So that could just be a WIP until then and just not show it after this month when I do my mid-month check-in for my WIPs. But we'll see how much I can get done. And then I also have 2 cross-stitch conversion projects that I am working on. I can't show the one. I mean, I guess I could, but I will show the one that's from Diamond Art Studio UK. Once that one's done and I go to kit down, I will just give notice and show everybody what that looks like. So if you're interested in seeing that, then that would be the time that I would show it. And then the other one is my stitch along. And that one, I will show that one once it's complete. Right now it's in stages. And once I get it finished, I've gotten a little behind on that one, then I will show you guys. And it's turned out really cute. I would definitely consider another stitch along. It's supposed to be cross stitch, but changed it into a diamond painting. And I would definitely do that again if it worked for diamond painting. So if it has any of the half stitches or anything like that, then that doesn't work for diamond painting. But if it's just regular stitching, then I would consider doing this again because it's been so much fun. On I think it's the 18th or so of each month is when it comes out, and I am always looking for it. And when it comes out, I get really excited. I'm like, I have to look and see what it is. So I always want to look at it. So that's been, it's kind of a mystery, but it's not. And the other one definitely is a mystery. And I am really enjoying that one. I still have a way to go because I hadn't worked on it very much. When I'm in the mood working on a cross stitch conversion, when I'll pull out the one that is from Diamond Art Studio, and I'll get a day or 2 done. And that one it's going by pretty fast. Once I figured out what the pattern, how it's set up, because they're all about the same on how the pattern is set up with the background. Once I figured that out after day 2, I thought, oh, okay, this is easier now. I see, I don't know why I made it so complicated and it took me so long just to get the first 2 done. But I'm kind of like that on the other diamond paintings too. Once I get my groove going, then I can work on it for a while and I can get it done much faster. I think I'm going to stop here. I have been talking more than I really thought I even had enough to talk about. But if you like this video, please click on the like button. Also, if you're not subscribed, I would absolutely love to have you here. It is free. And if you don't mind, if you would comment below or include an emoji of, well, we're doing fall. We don't want to do fall now. How about spring or a summer emoji? That way I will know that you are here and that you enjoyed this video. Thanks again, and until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye!